Chapter 86. Before I joined the FBI, I was a cop in New York City. After we decided that Coop was just a kid digging a tunnel and not a terrorist, I had several conversations with him. Agent Ryan stopped pacing and looked at the O'Tooles. Do you know why Coop dug that tunnel? It was a lark, Bertrand said. Something to do? Ariel added. You didn't ask him, did you? Not specifically, Ariel answered. I'm betting not at all, Agent Ryan said. He said he was looking for something, but he didn't know what it was. Obviously not treasure. As you both know, Coop isn't interested in money. He told me that he had an overwhelming sense that he was destined to make an important discovery underground. Of course, we had a team of psychologists examine him while he was there. They all came up with the same verdict. Perfectly sane. Agent Ryan started pacing again. Coop and I got along well. I liked him. He stayed in touch with me. Once or twice a year, he would drop by the WFO unannounced to check in with me. If I wasn't here, he'd leave a message saying that he had stopped by to see me and how I was doing. If I was here, he'd wait patiently until I had time to see him, and we'd talk. Was he still digging tunnels? Ariel asked. Agent Ryan shook her head. He said he promised you he wouldn't. I don't think that means he wasn't doing some urban exploring underground, but he didn't take a shovel with him. In fact, he came by here on the day he argued with you two about his future. And for the record, I told him that he should go back home and go to college. I'm glad he didn't listen to me. But let's get back to what's not in the story Pat wrote down, because what's not there is even stranger than what is. She took a deep breath and let it out slowly. My maiden name is Munoz, and Christmas Eve, 19 years ago in New York City, I was the detective in charge of the man and the woman found shot to death in the dumpster next to Palata's Italian Grill. Kate's parents, Bertrand said. That's right. And you never told Cooper about this? Ariel asked. I only discuss cases with other law enforcement officers. I don't even talk about them with my husband. She took a flash drive and a cell phone out of her desk drawer. They dropped the flash drive in a trash can down the street next to the Ford's Theater, along with the disposable cell phone they used to call me, and Pat's journal. When I started reading the document on the drive, I thought it was a prank, even though that would have been so unlike Coop. But when I got to the part about Kate's parents, I knew it was all true. There was no way any of them could have known about my involvement with that case. I had never talked to anyone about it, including other cops, because that case left a scar on me. All cops have one or two unsolved cases that they never get over. The so-called dumpster deaths case was mine. I knew it wasn't a random killing. I knew there was a child involved, but there was absolutely no leads. The blood trail stopped the moment Lawrence Oliver Dane walked out of the alley with Kate in his arms. Agent Ryan looked out her window. You see, she continued, the night they were murdered, everyone was staring at the sky. There wasn't a cloud from Ohio to New York. When Lawrence Oliver Dane shot his son and daughter-in-law and his brother, we were all watching a lunar eclipse. Agent Ryan turned back to the O'Tooles. Both of their faces had paled. Ariel took Bertrand's hand. Kate's parents were murdered around the time you were giving birth to Coop on the 495th Beltway in Virginia, Agent Ryan said. Strange, isn't it? Stunned, Ariel and Bertrand nodded. I have no idea what it means, or if it means anything. You're both scientists. What are the chances? I'm an astrophysicist, Ariel said. Not a metaphysicist, but I'll admit that it's a very strange coincidence. I'm a molecular biologist, Bertrand said, shaking his head, tightening his hold on Ariel's hand. Where are our sons? Ariel asked. I'll let them speak for themselves in a moment. First, I want to tell you what we found in the deep. She opened a case folder marked Mr. Lawrence Oliver Dane. She showed them a mugshot of the man known as Laud. Underneath the photo was a stamp that read, Deceased.